Good evening and welcome to Parliamentary News, reaching you from NTA Parliament for the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. My name is Abdullahi, Garba, Birnin, Kudu. On the news, President Muhammadu Buhari writes Senate seeks loan for social investment program.
Being a social intervention program will stimulate activities in the informal sector.
As senators and members-elect undergo induction ahead of inauguration of 10th Assembly, civil society and other stakeholders make last-minute push.
We were able to expand our infrastructural base.
And correspondent on letters from state assemblies. President Muhammadu Buhari has written to Senate seeking the approval of $800 million United States dollars loan facility from the World Bank. The fund is to scale up the National Social Safety Net program. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Oko reports that the Senate has approved the reimbursement of 9.6 billion naira to Plateau and Borno states for federal roads projects executed by the states.
Those against any diet.
Plenary took off with President of the Senate Ahmed Lawan reading executive communication from President Muhammadu Buhari requesting that the Senate approves a loan of $800 million United States dollars for the National Social Safety Net program.
The NASSP, being a social intervention program, will stimulate activities in the informal sector, improve nutrition, health.
The Nigerian Immigration Service has attributed the scarcity of international passport booklets to challenges in assessing foreign exchange to import the booklets. The Comptroller General of the Service, Idris Jere, also told the House of Representatives Ad hoc Committee on conducting an investigation that major components for passport production are sold in the international market, while assemblage and production takes place in Malaysia. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
For quite some time, scarcity of international passport booklets in Nigeria and its foreign missions has been a source of concern to Nigerians. This prompted a presidential directive that the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company should commence local production of the passports. The directive is the subject of this investigative hearing as the House demands information on the proposed domestication and processing of international passports.
We realize money in foreign exchange goes to CBN Direct. We go for it, they say no, go and get money elsewhere, buy booklet and do. We can't do magic.
Are you sure the Nigerian Security and Printing Company have the capacity and the ability to operate this whole process?
There's a complaint that print has no capacity. Let's challenge them. It's a provincial directive. The president cannot say this and say no. I have always come back that let's Irish mass technology meet up with meant to do if they can.
Ministry does not do anything outside internal security. This is a security document. And there is no, we cannot even say one aspect of it is meant to be open or is meant to be confidential.
The foreign company handling the production told the committee that it has been doing its utmost best to fulfill the contractual agreements despite some challenges. The company said it delivered 1.9 million booklets last year and 800,000 in the first 4 months of 2023.
There's no country where their mint, where the security, the government security prints passport. And this is very, very few countries. Why? Because e-passport is not a security printing matter like it was before. E-passport is a technology-based project, and security printing presses do not have the skill set, nor the equipment, nor the experience to do it.
Meanwhile, the National Assembly Joint Committee on Police Affairs has hosted the Inspector General of Police, the Police Service Commission and other stakeholders as it works on a legislation to give legal backing to Nigeria police colleges and other relevant training institutions.
The passage of this bill will engender a new era of modernized training and the retraining of personnel of the Nigeria Police Force and other agencies that will also greatly impact on our service delivery as we strive towards the attainment of our given mandate.
Of developing a legal framework for police institutions. The benefits are enormous.
The need to strengthen and empower the Nigerian police cannot be overemphasized.
We will continue to give the police the best cooperation to ensure that, being the largest civil security outfit in the land and in a democratic dispensation, we are not going to joke with the police.
The public hearing is consolidating the executive bill and others related in line with the ongoing reform and restructuring of the police force. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
House Committee on Privatization Commercialization is to constitute a subcommittee that will work with stakeholders to resolve post-privatization issues involving Bureau for Public some investors. These form part of the resolutions after an investigative hearing. National Assembly correspondent Dayo Ogunshola reports.
The investigation is to broker peace and provide an integrated platform where post-privatization issues among stakeholders comprising Bureau of Public Enterprise, Niger Dock Nigeria Limited, and others could be settled.
Also have the issue of continuing to be monitored by the BPE over 22 years after we have been privatized.
Were they told that they have a liability of that loan, that they are going to pay for it? Is it part of what you transfer to them?
Sir, nobody was compelled to do a transaction. We did not hide or did not claim. We gave them what we had. So if they were not satisfied, they should have objected to the transaction.
With long hours lost to heated argument, it appears parties talk to their positions.
That Niger Dock is to immediately write BPE requesting for reimbursement of 341 tax liabilities and litigation costs, and copy Chairman NCP and the committee. 3, that BPE and Niger Dock should work together to recover all missing title documents.
Tax liabilities and title documents are part of the lingering issues between BPE and the concerned investors. From the National Assembly, Dayo Ogunshola, NTA News.
The Joint Tax Team of the 10th National Assembly has thrown its weight behind the position of governing APC in zone and principal offices ahead of inauguration of the Assembly in June. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu reports.
Seated in this hall are members-elect and serving members of the House of Representatives. They converged to resolve some contending issues surrounding the election of leadership of the 10th Assembly.
What we are doing is just simple, trying to ensure that yes, we have a stable 10th Assembly like other previous leaders and assemblies enjoy.
The members later went into a closed-door session and endorsed the speakership and deputy speakership to Abbas Tajuddin and Benjamin Kalu in line with the decision of the APC.
So we'll come out with a 16-point agenda. In that agenda, you see all the areas we are going to work on in the 10th Assembly.
The Southeast is going to feel the power of cohesion and national loyalty is going to be driven by virtue of this that has taken place.
The joint tax of members has, however, said it is an independent legislative forum, neutral and non-partisan, trying to observe the best practices of the contemporary parliamentary system. In Abuja, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
And it's now time to take a break. More reports from the state assemblies when we return. Please stay tuned. Whoever plans is sure of success in his targeted role, whether in governance or personal endeavor. It is therefore the tradition of the management of the National Assembly to organize induction for its new members before they wear that esteemed title of distinguished senators and honorable members. So that type of induction is in progress in Abuja. This is to inculcate such rudiments of work on the lawmakers. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports that technocrats in legislative matters are having a field day at the impact knowledge of lawmaking process on the lawmakers.
You are a representative of the country.
The week-long induction for the Batch A new and returning lawmakers is designed to expose them to the new task. It is to serve as a refresher course on different periods of Parliament, sitting, assembly, and recess, as well as activities of the clerks of both red and green chambers. Papers presented dwelt extensively on legislative practice, procedure and floor proceedings, structure, powers and functions of Nigerian legislature, budget process and money bills, as well as constitutional alteration, among others.
Anything that contradicts the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will be declared null and void to the extent of its contradiction to the Constitution.
It's necessary to have orientation of this nature lasting 2, 3, 4, 5 days, as the National Assembly Management and the Institute of Legislative Studies has done, to fill them in and to bring them up to speed with what they are going to do.
Members-elect are of the view that with the prerequisite knowledge acquired on the legislative matters, the 10th National Assembly will be skills-oriented.
For us as first-timers, it is quite refreshing and quite educative. At the same time, it is preparing us for the task ahead, knowing fully well that you have to understand the nuances and the procedure of doing things in the National Assembly.
Some people don't have legislative experience, so it's good to prepare the incoming members, the members-elect.
We're actually blessed coming at this time that the nation is expecting so much from us.
A mock on how the first sitting of the 10th National Assembly and elections of principal officers at Senate and House of Representatives chambers was also demonstrated.
I will have the privilege to invite a senator-elect to nominate another senator.
It is a theory and practice induction for new and returning members-elect of the 10th National Assembly, and so they required the nitty-gritty of the legislative proceedings before the business proper. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
As members-elect in the 10th Assembly undergo induction preparatory to their inauguration, a coalition of civil society group known as Nigerian Network for Parliamentary Monitoring organizations is calling on the legislators to enact laws that promote the inclusivity of the vulnerable groups. National Assembly correspondent Vivian Idebepo reports that this was at a dialogue with the theme Setting the Agenda for Youth Inclusion in Parliament, held in Abuja.
This network of parliamentary monitoring organizations converged on Abuja towards promoting open parliament for upscaling legislative accountability with the aim of setting agenda for the incoming legislators. They believe the legislature is the lifewire of representative democracy.
It means that not just for us as a network of parliamentary monitoring organization, for every one of us, we must begin to see how we champion the cause of the youth. And you also need to infuse this in the demand for legislative accountability. When Parliament is open, when Parliament is transparent, when Parliament is accountable, it means that you'll be able to push forward your own desires and your.
We believe that the 10th Assembly can be a powerful agent of change to the youths if priority is placed on youth-related issues and mitigating the crippling factors in order to secure the economic agility and strength of the youths.
Beyond setting agenda, member representing Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency in Plateau State, Dachun Musa Bagos, advises civil society organizations to be alive to their responsibilities and not to promote controversies.
What is that agenda that you need to drive the House till the end of the House? Because once you drive that agenda, you will come out with some indices of that is so impactful that you can now say that at the end of the day, this is what we have achieved. And you're talking about youth inclusiveness. To me, what were you able to do between electioneering period of 2020, 2021, 2022 to ensure that the house is made up of at least 70% of youths. And once that is done, already you know that you have soldiers that you'll be able to work with. Yes, we have youths that will be coming into the 10th Assembly. My prayer is that you should be able to hold these youths along.
So it's one thing to demand, and it's one thing to also know what to demand for when we are demanding for accountability and an open parliament.
The Nigerian Network of Parliamentary Monitoring Organizations, which is housed at the other paper, is made up of 15 civil society groups, including the African Parliamentary Press Network. In Abuja, Vivian Idekpe for NTA News.
Nigeria's ninth legislative session wind down, partners in the nation's health sector are craving for a last-minute push for assent of new public health bills and right transition to the 10th National Assembly to sustain progress made by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration on healthcare delivery. Oluseyi Adiabo reports that this was the crux of a media roundtable on the advocacy for new public health bills concept not by Nigerian Health Watch in Abuja.
Ensuring timely passage of public health bills by the ninth Nigerian legislative, with some of these bills already signed into law, have no doubt enhanced national response to public health concerns. For these legislators, there must be a continued collaboration with relevant actors to actualize a series of new bills, like the new Public Health Emergency Bill, as well as the amendment of the National Health Act.
One of the things we did at the legislature, which I'm pleased and proud of, is that we were able to expand our infrastructural base to be able to address pandemics, or what I'll call public health issues.
We've tried to make sure that the Ministry of Health realized that, Federal Ministry of Health, realize that they are important service providers. And they are the first target, and they are also our defense mechanisms.
This roundtable meeting is what Nigeria Health Watch and partners used to share views on the state of health bills before the ninth legislative, discussing further action to address challenges and transition to the incoming legislature.
Nigerians, we have to understand that to have an effective health service, we also need the legislative framework that underpins it to ensure that all different stakeholders know what their role is, and the adequate support, be it funding, human resources, etc., is put in place.
And to advocate for them, the lawmakers, to, as a matter of urgency, ensure that those bills get to Mr. President immediately.
The expectation from this meeting is to facilitate dialogue and collaboration among actors in the nation's health sector to ensure effective implementation of the bills. In Abuja, Oluseyi Adiagbo, NTA News.
And now to state assemblies, stakeholders in Sokoto have advocated for more contact and engagements before State Assembly passes the bill for upgrade of Sultan Abdurrahman School of Health Technology and School of Basic and Remedial Studies. This is coming at a public hearing on a bill for upgrade of the schools to colleges organized by the Sokoto State House of Assembly Committee on Higher Education. Nuruddin Abdullahi Adili has more.
The public hearing was due to a bill presented before the Sokoto State House of Assembly by the state government to upgrade the school mentioned to colleges. The committee invited stakeholders in the state that include Ministry of Justice, Health, and Higher Education. Others are Sultan Abdurrahman Health Technology, School of Basic and Remedial Studies, civil society organizations, and Medical and Health Workers Union to hear their views and contribution toward the success of the bill. All the stakeholders welcomed the idea and commended the Sokoto state government for bringing in something they had waited for a very long time. Some of the stakeholders emphasized that members of the assembly should, as a matter of urgency, look into the possibility of of passing the bill into law. Heads of the schools welcome the idea and thank Sokoto State government for making this a reality.
All our proposal has been captured in, and I believe only some minor points and some typical errors have been notified, and the honourable members also have taken note of that. And I believe they are going to make all the amendment possible and send it for the final approval.
It's a very wonderful bill, and definitely it is in line with the current and common practice. And that is why we are always proud of Sokoto State being Democrat. And the House has demonstrated so, and we are so grateful.
The bill has killed first and second readings. In Sokoto, Nuruddin Abdullahi, NTA News.
And the Nasarawa State House of Assembly has passed Erosion, Watershed and Climate Change Bill as Social Investment Agency Bill also scaled third reading. Isa Muhammad reports that the House also entertained 2 committee reports at plenary.
The 2 executive bills that was passed at plenary are a bill for a law to establish the Nasarawa State Erosion, Watershed and Climate Change Agency and a bill for a law to establish the Nasarawa State Social Investment Agency. The first bill, when signed into law, will give statutory rights to the agency in controlling and managing land degradation, while the latter bill will be ensuring equitable distribution of resources, tackling poverty and economic growth in the states.
Don Kutunga is my name, member representing Away North and the House Leader. In favor of my name is a bill for a law to establish the Nasarawa State Erosion, Watershed and Climate Change Agency, NASWICA, and other matters connected therewith. Third reading.
The 2 committee reports presented at the floor of the House are a report of the House Standing Committee on Health on a bill for a law to amend the Nasarawa State College of Nursing and Midwifery Law 2021 and that of the Committee on Judiciary, Ethics and Privileges on a bill for a law to amend the number of judges of the Superior Courts of Record Law 2001.
As a result of some innovations in most sectors of life, especially the health sector, today, the need to change the title of the bill from College of Nursing and Midwifery to College of Nursing Services becomes necessary. Observation. The Right Honourable Speaker, sir, going by the foregoing, it becomes necessary for the committee to align herself with the proposed amendment because life itself is dynamic.
What this proposed amendment bill seeks to do is to reduce the workload of judges of Superior Court of Record that we are passing through as a result of insufficient number of them in the state, coupled with overblow population of their state as a result of our proximity with the federal capital, Abuja. A lot of fresh cases come up every day. Therefore, there is the urgent need for more hands.
The Speaker, Ibrahim Balarabe Abdullahi, is selected 16th of May for deliberation on the bills. Meanwhile, leadership of the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria, PASAN, Nasarawa State chapter led by its chairman, Suleiman Oshafo, interfaced with the Speaker over absorption of casual staff and some of their plights for productivity. Other issues tabled by the association include promotion, payment of gratuities, leave grants, and involvement of the association in managing the affairs of the assembly. In Lafia, I am Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
The Kano State Public Health Security Bill 2022 has passed the second reading at the Kano State House of Assembly. Samira Hamis Ushira reports that the House has received a request from the State Judiciary seeking for the establishment of Sharia Court of Appeal that will entertain cases from upper Sharia courts. The communication has been forwarded to the Committee on Judiciary for further legislative action.
The Kano State Public Health Security Bill is a private member bill, co-sponsored by Speaker Hamisu Ibrahim Shidari, Magajid Ahir Zariwa from Rogo, and their counterpart from Take, Musa Alikachaku. It is aimed at providing a legal framework for public health security in line with fundamental human rights.
This bill will provide a public health security framework for the state. 2, it will promote and improve health security, public hygiene, public health and well-being of human population of Kano State.
I've after consideration at the Committee of the Whole, the House has passed the amendments of Kano State Contributory Healthcare Management Agency and Kano State Ultra-Modern Specialist Hospital Bill 2022. The House has been adjourned to Monday, the 22nd of May 2022. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisu Shira.
And across border issues, the Pan-African Parliament has announced 15th May 2023 for the commencement of its second ordinary session taking place in Midrand, South Africa. The session will hold under the African Union theme of 2023, Acceleration of the African Continental Free Trade Area Implementation. The Parliament is expected to devise ways to fast-track the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AFCFTA. Also on the order of business is the third African Parliamentary Summit on Climate Policy and Equity, scheduled for 15th and 17th of May 2023, to galvanize a critical mass of stakeholders capable of crystallizing broad support for proper, just, equitable, locally led and science-based decisions in nationally determined contributions, implementation and overall climate action. The high-level climate engagement will also identify a common African agenda in the global stocktake process and in the countdown to COP28, as well as the role parliamentarians can play. And that's about the size of today's edition of NTA Parliament News. You can watch us also on our social media platforms. I am Abdullahi Garba, Birnin Kudu, saying bye for now.